Hello and welcome back to our podcast, Education Today. I am your host, Sochiata, and today we are diving into an incredibly exciting milestone for our show, episode 31. We are exploring a topic that feels like it has been pulled straight out of a science fiction movie, but it is very much a reality in classrooms today. Augmented reality for enhancing science education. Joining me is a very special guest who has been at the forefront of this digital revolution, Mr. Saruin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Sochiata. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. I have been looking forward to this conversation for a while because, as you know, I am deeply passionate about how we can make science not just a subject to be studied, but an experience to be lived. AR is that bridge between the abstract and the tangible, and I am thrilled to discuss it with your listeners today.
You know, Mr. Saruin, when I think back to my own science classes in middle school, I remember thick, heavy textbooks and maybe a few posters of the periodic table on the wall. It always felt a bit, well, flat. How does augmented reality change that fundamental experience for a student today?
Nodding appreciatively, you hit the nail on the head, Sochiata. That flatness is exactly what we are trying to solve. Imagine, instead of looking at a 2D diagram of a human heart in a book, a student can hold up a tablet or wear a pair of AR glasses, and suddenly a 3-dimensional beating heart appears right there on their desk. They can walk around it, they can zoom into the ventricles, and they can see the blood flow in real time. It transforms a passive reading moment into an active, immersive discovery. The aha moment happens much faster when you can actually see the mechanics of life pulsing in front of you.
That sounds absolutely magical. I can almost imagine the look on a student's face when that heart first pops into existence. It's like having a laboratory in your pocket, isn't it?
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. It's a portable lab. And it's not just for biology. Think about chemistry. We all know how dangerous it can be to mix the wrong chemicals or how expensive some reagents are. With AR, students can conduct virtual experiments where they combine elements and see the molecular bonds forming or the reactions occurring without any physical risk. Thoughtfully, it removes the fear of making a mistake and replaces it with the freedom to explore.
That freedom to explore seems so vital, but I wonder, Mr. Saruin, does this tech actually help with retention, or is it just a cool gadget that keeps them entertained for 20 minutes?
Soberly but confidently, that is a very important question. The research is actually quite clear on this. When we learn through multiple senses, visual, auditory, and even kinesthetic through the interaction of AR, our brains create much stronger neural pathways. It's called embodied cognition. Because the student is interacting with the object in their physical space, the brain processes it as a real experience rather than just abstract information. Our data shows that students who use AR for complex topics like electromagnetism or cellular biology retain that information significantly longer than those who only use traditional methods.
Impressed. Embodied cognition. That's a powerful concept. It's like the difference between reading a recipe and actually standing in the kitchen cooking the meal. But I have to ask, what about the teachers? I know many educators are already overwhelmed. Is AR difficult to integrate into a standard curriculum?
I hear that concern a lot, and it is valid. Teachers are the heroes of our society, and they are stretched thin. However, the beauty of modern AR platforms is that they are becoming incredibly user-friendly. Many apps are designed specifically to align with national science standards. Encouragingly, it's not about replacing the teacher, it's about giving them a superpower. Instead of trying to explain the curvature of space-time with a whiteboard marker, they can let the student see the fabric of the universe warp right before their eyes. Once a teacher sees the engagement levels skyrocket, the work of learning the tech feels like a small price to pay for the joy of seeing their students finally get it.
I love that image, giving teachers a superpower. It really changes the dynamic of the classroom. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Couchiously, high-tech equipment can be expensive. How do we ensure that this doesn't create a wider gap between wealthy schools and those with fewer resources?
Nodding solemnly. That is the challenge of our generation, Sochiata. The digital divide is real. However, there is a silver lining. Unlike virtual reality, which often requires expensive headsets and high-end PCs, augmented reality can run on most modern smartphones and tablets. Many schools already have one-to-one device programs. Optimistically, we are also seeing a huge rise in open-source AR content. Organizations are working hard to make these tools accessible to everyone, regardless of their zip code. It's a journey, but we are moving toward a world where every child can have a digital microscope in their palm.
That is so inspiring to hear. Every child deserves that chance to wonder. Pause. Mr. Sarowin, can you share a specific story? Maybe a moment where you saw a student's perspective completely shift because of AR?
Oh, there are so many, but there is one that sticks with me. I was working with a student who really struggled with spatial awareness. He just couldn't visualize how the planet stayed in orbit. He felt bad at science and was ready to give up. We used an AR solar system app where he could walk through the orbits. He actually walked from the sun to Earth, counting his steps to understand the scale. He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "I'm not dumb, Mr. Sarowin. I just needed to see it." That moment, that is why I do this. Science is for everyone. We just need the right window to look through.
Deeply moved. Wow, I just needed to see it. That really hits home. It's about inclusivity, isn't it? Catering to different learning styles. Clearing throat slightly. Looking forward, where do you see AR in 5 or 10 years? Are we going to see holograms like in Star Wars?
We are closer than you think. I believe we are moving towards seamless AR. Imagine students on a field trip to a local forest. They look through their glasses and see the hidden life of the soil, the mycelial networks, the carbon exchange between trees, all overlaid on the real world. It will become an invisible layer of knowledge that we can access anywhere. Science education won't be confined to a room anymore. The entire world will be the classroom.
That is a future I want to live in. It turns the whole world into a living encyclopedia. Mr. Sarowin, we are coming to the end of our time, but do you have any final words for parents or educators who might be hesitant about bringing AR into their children's lives?
Earnestly, my advice is simple. Just play with it. Download a free AR anatomy or space app and explore it together. Don't be afraid of the technology. Let your children lead the way. They are digital natives, and they will show you things you never imagined. Softly, remember, the goal isn't the screen. The goal is the spark of curiosity that happens in the child's mind. AR is just the match that lights the fire.
Gratifying. The match that lights the fire. What a perfect note to end on. Mr. Sarowin, thank you so much for joining us for episode 31. Your passion is truly contagious, and I know our listeners are going to be looking at their phones and tablets in a whole new light today.
Humbly, thank you, Sochiata. It has been a joy. Keep spreading the word. Science is beautiful, and now it's more visible than ever.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. As always, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep learning. We will see you in the next episode of Education Today. Goodbye for now.